friend of mine. Rich is the CEO and founder of Flickly. They are experts in 2D animation and just making killer video content that drives business objectives forward. Rich, thank you so much for joining. Your spicy title is certainly engaging. I'm going to let you jump right into it.
All right, thanks a lot, Gary. Hi, everybody. Today, Hot Takes fans. I love the fact that this is the second one, and hopefully there are going to be more. Today, I want to talk a little bit about what you shouldn't let your friends do, and that is, as the title suggests, friends don't let friends make shitty video. I don't like to curse very often, but I think it's important to curse in this instance because if you make a shitty video, then you end up wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. So I want to introduce myself a little bit more. As Gary said, I'm the founder and CEO of Flickly Animated Videos. A fun fact is that a while back, I worked with Steven Spielberg, and I felt the heat of 3 helicopters blowing up on an incredible set. I don't know if there are any big Spielberg fans out there, but what an experience. Reach out if you ever want to talk about that. So why are we here today? Year over year, we read all the same trends, about the same trends, the content reports, about what's trending. There are what progress is being made. The tried and true channels giving preference to video and new video forward platforms being built. People respond really well to video. But the main problem is that there is sadly a lot of shitty video out there. So let's keep that in mind for a minute. While I talk about this small point, which is, the video marketing industry alone in the US is worth projected north of $130 billion. So what that means is that people are paying attention to the power of video. So it's important to get on board if you're not already there and begin to harness the power that video allows you. So, what can we do about this? Right? Well, the first thing, and I think that, this is really what the presentation is all about, is like making the right decisions about video, right? So we do not let our friends make shitty video. The first step is you must define shitty video. And that means when there is there's just no impact on your audience. They aren't taking action, they're clicking away, they're forgetting you, like you're ignored. People are not paying attention to you if you've got a video that's not working. Step number 2, to avoid that, you need to make a plan. Making that plan is super important. Number 1, who are you talking to? Number 2, like, what is the video supposed to do? Like, what is the purpose of that video? And number 3, you need to know like where your audience spends their time. If you don't know that, then you're not going to be able to connect with them. Video content is going to resonate with them, and then you're not going to have the video fulfill its desired purpose. So it's important that you answer all of these 3 questions before you can make a sound plan. Otherwise, you are inevitably going to make shitty video. So step 3, this is really important. Not many people think about it. They think, we have this job that has to be done and everybody's doing video. So let's just create a video and it's going to be that easy. Well, if you want to create a great video, part of that is avoiding a shitty process. It's true that video is not all created equal. And I'm going to highlight this through a story about my friend, Donnie. I'd like you to meet him. I'm going to read a bit from the slides here because I think you'll follow me. He's a good marketer, but he's a little out of his element, right? Donnie has a video problem, so he turns to me for help. Donnie is frustrated because he's got very little time. His video vendor wasn't proactive in keeping in touch with him and letting him know when things are coming down the pike. The video vendor kept on missing feedback. Has anybody ever, done that where they've said, okay, this looks great, but would you mind doing this or something else? And then that video feedback just gets ignored time and time again. That's super frustrating. So then he's like, okay, these guys aren't doing the job, so I might as well just do it myself. And then, by the time he spent a little bit of money to have this video produced, he ends up spending like most of his time getting the job done because he needs to present that to his boss. He needs to present that to his team. And then, like, that video needs to work for them. But he's just like, well, I don't know what to do. And so now his job is called into question because he hasn't done the thing that he promised he would do. So, his new question, or Donnie's new question, is like, to video or not to video? And that's the wrong question to be asking. You need to do video, but you need to do the right video. So, where do you start? How do you avoid uh, just going through a really tough process and ending up frustrated and not feeling good about the work that you're doing? So where do you start? I'm going to go through each of these points and I'm going to read them out. Go ahead, copy this slide so that you have got those points for yourself. So number one is obviously, well, it's not obvious actually, but defining the goal of your video. What do you want it to do, right? What is the purpose of that video, and what do you want that outcome to be? Number two is like identifying the target audience. Again, something that seems very obvious, but if you don't have a really good idea of who you're talking to and trying to resonate with, then you might water down the video or try to fit too many things in there. You need to know, in combination with what the job of the video is, and who you're talking to, um, based on those two things, you are going to be able to develop that compelling story. If you don't have a story that is resonating with the audience, then you're basically going to lose them and they're going to click away, right? So if you have those first three things in place, then you'll need to make sure that uh, that you use consistent brand messaging. It's it's one of those things that if you are all over the place in your video and you haven't thought through it quite right, then you're going to be sending mixed messages about your brand. And you can make sure, like, if you use professional video production, a professional video production studio, then they should be able to help you make sure that you're on point with your brand messaging and everything that comes before that. And then point six is like, it's really important to optimize for distribution. You've got different platforms, social platforms, different aspect ratios. You've got, subtitles that you need to add. That's, that's one thing that is very critical to making sure that your video production, that's ready to go and distributed into the right places. Um, a clear call to action at the end of your video. Again, this comes back to defining the goal of the video. What is it you want the video to do? You can determine what the call to action is if you have that very clearly in mind. And then after you've distributed the video, then you can measure and optimize the video. So if it's doing very, very well on LinkedIn, then you can go ahead and maybe double down on video ad spend. You can just, if you understand how well the video is performing, then you'll be able to figure that piece out. But again, if you are uncertain about that, then working with somebody who is in this space, they can help you. They should be able to help you. So, how do you find a partner? Well, it's there are a number of things on this slide, right? Strategy, even if you don't have a strategy, or if you do have a strategy, your partner needs to be able to understand how strategy should play out and where video fits into that and what it's going to do throughout the funnel. You've got script and storyboard, audio and visual production, all of those things. Look and see what the studio has done in the past, or reach out to them and say, hey, can you send stuff that is relevant to what I'm trying to do here? And like I said earlier, process management is key, because otherwise you're going to get behind the 8 ball. You're not going to have the project done on time. It's not going to be released in time with the rest of the marketing campaign, and you're going to be left out in the cold for not doing your job. So we don't want that. Then think about the distribution input. Like, we can help do that, or your studio should be able to help with where you should put your video and how to optimize it for those distribution channels, and then the optimized output. So I see that we're coming up toward the end of my session here. I just wanted to say a couple of things quickly about how do you reach your target audience. For example, like B2B, you got professional services like YouTube, Vimeo, that allow you to share and track engagements. You can embed it on your site or email campaigns. B2C, social platforms, Instagram, TikTok for young adults, Facebook or LinkedIn for mid-age, and then seniors are probably more likely to share by email, or YouTube is also great. So social platform allows you to target interests and demographics. In your internal audiences, is it a private YouTube channel, internal intranet? For sensitive information, there are different places to reach your audience like that are important to consider. So in short, don't feel overwhelmed. There are best practices and studios out there that can help you, but do not let that overwhelming feeling come into your mind or into your body. People can help. Understand where the value of video comes from, so that you can make an informed decision about your best partner. Like, what is it that you need from them? And again, reach out to various studios to see what it is they can offer. And then the 3 tenets of successful video are: know your audience, produce with a purpose, and meet your audience where they are. So in practice, start with the strategic framework. Take the project from, it's important that the studio takes the project management off of your hands, and make sure that the audience is top of mind from script to distribution. The key takeaway, again, I'll reiterate, is just, know your audience, produce with a purpose, and meet them where they are. So with this last minute and a bit, I just want to show you a quick case study where in 4 months, this is one of our long-term clients. They're called CrowdFit, run by Jim Miller. In 4 months, they had 40,000 views and 8,000 signups. And this is a quick 30-second video.
With CrowdFit, you sweat, we pay. CrowdFit offers cash rewards to members living healthy, active lifestyles. Every Monday, we select winners to receive rewards of up to $5,000 each per winner. Earning rewards is easy. Simply track meals, mindfulness, sleep, steps, and physical activity using any major wearable or fitness app. Download the CrowdFit app and join the crowd for free today. With CrowdFit, you sweat.
So basically, let me just go to the next slide here. We're really coming up on time. The point there was that, with that 30-second video, they achieved quite a high outcome, and they got quite a high ROI on it. And that's all because they knew where they were, their audience, they knew where they were going. So, if you need help putting video tips to work, just call me, write me. My name is Rich. I hope that this has been helpful for you guys. Reach out to me on LinkedIn or via email. I'd love to talk to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Rich. Definitely cutting it close. We have 1 minute. We got 2 super compelling questions. They're kind of related, so I'll give them to you both at the same time. So our previous speaker, Chris, says, when do you draw a line between do-it-yourself and just hire a professional to help me, which is kind of related to Courtney's question here, which is how much can the right partner support slow down from internal subject matter experts, etc.? That's often our issue. So similar question, right? Like, when do you know DIY is better versus pros, and how does that impact timing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's really easy to think that the DIY makes sense. I would say that if you really think that you can do it, that you should go for it and see where that gets you. You know, if it's going to take you, like if you start to get a brain melt in the first, you know, couple weeks, then I think it's time to turn to somebody. What I would do is I would research, like reach out to a few companies, talk to them first. And once you've spoken to them and you really want to do the DIY, or if you've got budget constraints or something like that, then try it. And you'll know within probably, you know, within a week whether or not this is going to work for you. Talk to your teammates and see what they say about it, and be willing to admit that, look, this isn't going to work. I've spent, you know, 3 days on it. You know, this has cost us this much already. And if I keep going with it and I produce something that's not going to work, then I'm putting my own job at risk. So I think that I need to push for one of those 3 companies I talked to, push them toward the marketing director, whoever's holding the purse strings in that.
Awesome,
I
Rich.
hope that makes sense.
Perfect. Thanks so much for joining. Speakers like you is what makes Hot Takes Live an amazing event. For those of you who are not aware, we have created a an animated video series, cartoon action style, called the Rap Squad. Flickly was our partner in that endeavor. It is awesome. You can check it out at breadcrumbs.io/RAP or rap. Please check it out. And then feel free to get back to us, get in touch with Rich, talk about video, how it can help drive your business forward, or just give us feedback on the Rap Squad. Let us know how amazing it is, or not, but I'm pretty sure it's amazing. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break here. Mike Ainsley is sitting in the background waiting to come on stage. We've been talking about audience during this session. If anybody knows something about audience, it is Mike. So please stay tuned. Thanks, Rich.
All right. Thanks very much, Gary.